Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands, and welcome to an SP Reviews, where today we have ourselves a track from an act named Ache Tape titled Pretty. And if we switch over to here, we got ourselves the track Pretty on Spotify, along with some with the Thurston remix and the instrumental for them and everything like that, which is kind of cool. But the version we're going to be listening through today is the original Pretty. It's kind of cool when you have like different versions of like a piece to kind of get different angles and perspectives on it, but it'll be good to listen to the original. So we're going to listen through this track from start till finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go. It's ferociously heavy off the bat. I'll change to the kick grooves with the 16ths there on. Oh, and the synths as well, kind of nice. Time signature change? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I love how deranged the vocal style is. It's not trying to be pretty. There's a nice juxtaposition there.
But I'm pretty.
Halftime? I mean, the production's absolutely stellar. You hear the call and response, the going between the elements like that is really dope. It's a nice way to fill in the space. I suppose this would constitute double time, wouldn't it? It's ferocious, man. Right?
But I'm pretty.
I mean, to be honest, it kind of sounds demented, but I have a lot of love for that. I think that everything there stylistically, texturally is quite consistent. It makes it work. We're going to talk about this track, though, more in the conclusion. Because welcome to the conclusion of my review of this track from an act named Ache Tape, titled Pretty. I think it's great. The story, I think of it, it's about someone, I suppose, who is just at their most viscerally raw about that wants to be pretty, to get fucked, etc. That it's just a primal urge there. The album art that you can see here, I'll zoom on it if I can. Oh, it's behind me. You can do that now. There's the album art there. You can see it's someone coming out of a well or something like that. I suppose potentially it's commenting on like the need for validation from other people and feeling like you're sort of subhuman without it. But yeah, just basically the lust and sort of the need for physical, like all that kind of stuff, to almost be desecrated in pursuit of that. That's what I think this track's about. I think that the vocal style there, the way it sounds kind of sort of dramatic and grotesque, and like we're deliberately trying to exaggerate that effect there in a way which is kind of, or so like, it's very effective for the style of music we're doing. It suits the way the guitars, bass drums, and synth have been put across, as well as the riffs and the heaviness over all of that. It's very theatrical, and it's almost like we're trying to sort of like be that person who is that desperate for that attention, that sort of that next hit. And we repeat these lines throughout the track in a way which makes it very, very memorable and easy to follow along with. It's stellar, really stoked, and I'm really impressed by it, honestly. They've got ourselves a really great situation here where when I listen to this track, I think, what could we possibly done with the vocals to improve it? And I don't think there's really anything there. It's raw, and it's not meant to be like a pristine sterile sort of pop performance there. But these guys are apparently like, they list themselves as experimental industrial project. I'd totally go with that. It is a bit experimental. And as soon as you go into that realm of experimental, all that really matters to me is whether it sounds good or not and whether it makes sense. And those two things there have been met. So the vocals are great. You can follow along with that, sing along to the hook line and stuff, and it's a great vibe. Sorry, that was just my doorbell there if you heard the little ringing thing. The track itself at 4 minutes 16 was dope. I liked the variation of the different ways we presented the drums, guitar, bass, and synth parts. We had different chord progressions there. We were typically revolving around the zeros, but we did mess around with some octave chords on the guitar, which were kind of neat. But typically the guitars are rhythm based. You know, we were doing power chords or chug parts, or we're doing the octave chords and going to their mid range there. The synths that we had in that call and response had as well as some sort of more legato ones later on for a bit of tension, dramatic effect. They were more decorative, I think, but also that it had a bit of higher flare melody to it in a way which was kind of playing along with the melodic tendencies of the track. They were either there to sort of go alongside the flat seconds or add a bit of sort of trepidation to it, or alternatively, they were simply trying to, I think fill in the frequency spectrum in a way that made sense. And again, the call and response made those parts without the vocals a little bit more interesting. The bass parts were great. Nice and heavy in that low range, really appropriate for the genre there. Wasn't poking its nose out too much. It was done in a way where it made sense. It had great body to it, and it was heavy as hell, man. I said heavy a lot in this. It's full. It's brutal. The drums were great. I liked the variation with the different cymbal sort of tom and drum fills throughout this piece there, especially the intro, messing around with some of those 16ths a bit later on, and just really sort of solid with the 8th note grooves when we came in, or the quarter note grooves, duff, 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 yeah, quarter notes there. It had got a sort of a house-ish kind of beat to it, a kind of a dance to it, which was kind of wonderful in a way there. That made it kind of catchy in a weird sort of way, and I appreciate that. There's nothing wrong with having that sense of catchiness and rapturement in a piece there. It doesn't just have to be something that's hard to listen to. You can vibe along to it. So I think that they managed to handle those areas well. The performances across the instruments were great. The tone of the guitar, bass, drums, and synths were stellar. They definitely fit into that industrial mold. And I mean that as in like, I don't mean that as in like, how do I describe it? I think I don't really pay attention to genre when I say, does this sound like a genre? The reason I did that was just because like a lot of people assume there's going to be this kind of stuff in the genre. I don't mean any disrespect by that. It's just, yeah, that worked well. How about that? The overall tone of it is that it was kind of grotesque. There were flat second intervals and some of the progressions there. We typically stuck in the line with the chug power chords with down-tuned guitars. The bass and drums as they were heavy and full and thick. We mentioned we went between like half time and normal and double time grooves as well there, slowing down parts. We had parts where things paused but I'm pretty or something along those lines, which is really creepy with the voice modulation and stuff like that as well. It was very unsettling, but those pauses there added a sense of dynamic effect to it and made it more unpredictable, therefore more interesting to listen to. And it didn't distract from the music performance that much. It was like enough of a pause that you're like, wait, what's happening? But not too much that you lost interest. So the theme overall sounded pretty ugly, but in a way that made sense for the genre. And I think it connected well with what we were trying to discuss in the lyrics. So I think there was absolutely effective there. When you have flat second intervals in a piece, you know that you're going for that kind of dissonant tone there, and just the kind of the drive and everything there, and how raw it was. Even though the production was absolutely sort of like stellar, it's a great balance there, because the studio production, recording, mixing, and mastering was tremendous. I think that the icing on the cake is having everything handled in that area. The vocals were nice and present in the mix there. The guitars double tracked on the sides, or the octaves maybe were more in the center. The synths in the center as well, but in a higher range of the frequency spectrum, and the bass down low. And the drums present with the cymbals, kicks, their snares, and tom butts. Nicely boxed in, compressed, glued in a way which was not over the top. Things were neatly leveled. Things are nice and wide in the stereo field as well. Things sort of surrounded you in the headphones there. There was dynamic range when things went quiet and you had the voice and then it came back in with everything. It was nice and loud without pumping, so the bus compression limiting was handled. I mean, effectively, this is just a really positive review of this track from an act named Ache Tapes, titled Pretty, off of the Pretty EP, and hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show us some love via the various social medias and the Spotify page, and stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I will catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.